What up, YouTube? YouTube. What's the dealio? Hey, listen, man. Happy Father's Day to everybody. All right. We about to talk about the market. We about to go in today. All right. So I'm gonna let some people hop on. If you gonna catch the replay, comment below that you catching the replay. All right. But if you just hop on and say what's up, I got a lot of setups. I got a lot of stuff to talk about today, man. So we're gonna get it in. We're gonna get to it. What's up, Charlie? Charlie. If you just tuning in, man, say what's up. Say what's up. All right. Be sure to like this video as well for me. All right. Do me a favor, like this video. Okay. What up, Best Beezy? Marley, what up? What's up, Veronica? All right. You already know what we're doing today. We're talking about the setups and we're talking about the market. All right. We're talking about the stock market today. Okay. What's up, QTZ? How y'all doing? Y'all ready for this week? Is everybody ready for the week though? Y'all ready for this week? We got a short week today this week, okay? We have Juneteenth on Thursday. All right, so the market is going to be closed on Thursday. So we got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Market is closed on Thursday, and then Friday we coming back. All right, so keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. All right. Be sure to like this video. If you're just hopping on, say what's up. Let me know where you tuning in from. Okay. So I don't want to waste y'all time today. All right. I hope y'all had a great weekend. I hope y'all are refreshed and ready. So what we got going on this week, y'all? All right. What we got going on this week? So we don't have any crazy earnings, but here's what we do have. On Wednesday, they're making a rate decision, cut decision. So I was doing some research, and basically Wednesday they're going to make a decision if they're going to cut rates or not. Right? Now, with that being said, we already know the significance of this. If the rates get cut, the market could go up. If the rates don't get cut, the market probably going to stay the same. Now, with that being said, Jerome Powell is very intentional on what he chooses to say, because he knows he can make the market go up and he can make the market go down. All right. So with that being said, we have that. All right. Market is closed on Thursday. Then we got Friday. Now, we've been having some tension increasing and intensifying in the Middle East. All right. That's another thing. We have Middle East tensions going crazy right now. So we're going to be talking about that. And we're going to be talking about, what to look for and stuff like that. Okay. So I just want to give you guys like an overview of everything. All right. An overview of everything. I'm sorry, y'all. That was crazy. That was crazy. But I wanted to give y'all an overview of what we're going to be talking about, what we're going to be going through, okay? So, right on Wednesday, yeah, definitely. What up, E Pepe? Okay? If you guys are just now tuning in, do me a favor and like this video, and also subscribe to this YouTube channel, and comment below and let me know where you guys are tuning in from, all right? Let me know where you guys are tuning in from, all right? So we gonna get started. Now, we don't have any crazy earnings this week. That's something different. The only earning that I saw was Kroger, okay? And I don't really care about Kroger too much. So I saw Kroger and that was it. All right. So Kroger was the only thing that I saw. I'm not really paying attention to Kroger like that. So that's what we got on earnings. Now, we do have the rate decisions, and then we're gonna see what happens with this Middle East stuff over the next couple days. Now, over the weekend, they've been bombing each other. They've been going back and forth already. All right, and we know that Israel is an ally, and the U.S. are allies, and so it's a lot of stuff going on right now. Okay, so if you're just hopping on, say what's up. Let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from, and like this video. All right, now, so we got before we talk about like the charts, I want to break this down for you guys, okay? There's something called sector rotation. All right, sector rotation. Now let me break down what sector rotation means. They say something. There's a saying that says follow the money. All right, follow the money. Now, when we say follow the money, what that means is the candlesticks are going to tell you where the money is flowing into on a daily and a weekly time frame, right? Follow what I'm saying here, okay? Now, because that's the case, you got to understand that the money ain't always going to be in your favorite sector, right? You may like tech. The money ain't always going to be in there. Sometimes those stocks will sell off, and then the money's not in those sectors, right? So you got to understand sector rotation. So I think right now what's happening is a sector rotation, okay? So we're going to talk about that. What's up, Mason? I'm out primitive camping. Oh, okay, for the week, still trading though. That's what's up. Hey, I love camping, man. Camping is a beautiful thing. I gotta get back on it. Seriously, camping is great, man. For real. Shout out to that. If you just tuning in, man, we talking about sector rotation, and then we're gonna get into some setups. All right, but if you are just tuning in, do me a favor and like this video. Happy Father's Day. If you're a father, happy Father's Day to you. But like this video and comment below. Comment in the comments where you are tuning in from. All right. So we got something called sector rotation, right? And what sector rotation is when you see certain stocks selling off and money is not going into those stocks and the stocks aren't going up. What that means is if all the stocks in that sector are going down, but then you got a different sector, right? And you got a different sector and the stocks are going up, then that's called sector rotation, all right? So when we have sector rotation, I want you guys to understand what this means. What this means is we can make a lot of money on sector rotation, on puts and on calls, all right? Now, with that being said, let's start thinking about what's going on in the world, right? From a global scale, global perspective, okay? Now, when we look at this on a global perspective, all right, when we look at this on a global perspective, I want you guys to understand what's going on here, okay? So they said there's stuff going on in the Middle East, right? And there's potentially a war, okay? Potentially a war. What this means is anytime that there's a war, I want you guys to look at oil prices. All right, I'm going to start there. Oil prices. All right. Oil prices are going to go up. They're going to increase. All right. Now, because oil prices are going to increase, that means that oil stocks are going to go up. All right. So what stocks should you be looking at during wartime? All right. During wartime. What stocks should you be looking at during wartime? I'm going to tell you guys when y'all like that video. Hit that like button, man, all right? Smash that like button for me. All right, we got to keep growing this channel. We got to keep getting more eyeballs on it, all right? So just do me a favor if you have not. Smash that like button, all right? Every single live, you already know I'm going to give you some sauce, all right? I don't be stingy with it. All right? So, during wartime, Best Beezy said it, oil and commodities, all right? So I want you guys to think about what the global needs are and the U.S. needs. Where does the money go to during a war? Okay, oil. He said it, commodities, right? And also safety. And when we think about safety, we're thinking about defense. Okay, so defense companies. All right, defense companies. Now we got Jackson, Mississippi. Okay. I mess with Mississippi. Yeah, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. But we got defense, we got oil, and we got like energy companies as well. Okay, so on Friday, I want you guys to follow what I'm saying. I want you guys to look at your watch list. All right, so let's go through it real quick. The stocks that were the winners were oil companies, energy companies, two big ones, all right, and defense companies, okay? So it's not about just looking for a setup, right? It's not about just looking for a setup. It's about understanding where the money is going to. All right. I just made a video yesterday. One of my best performing videos in the first 24 hours. It got 1,000 views in 24 hours because this is important to know and understand. Right? I gave you guys 6 stocks that you could look into if the everything continues to intensify in the Middle East. Now watch this. If the Middle East intensifies, these stocks will go up. Now, if things slow down, then these stocks may come down a little bit, right? But I want you guys to pay attention to the price action, because I'm gonna show y'all some stuff on the charts. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys some stuff on the charts, and the stuff on the charts is going to show you that you could kind of predict what's about to happen when you could look at the charts and see it from a broad perspective. All right, so let's look into it. All right, let's go. So let's go to my sectors. All right, now before I go into these sectors and give you guys this sauce, if you are watching this and you have not, like this video. All right, like this video, okay? What up, RV? Yeah, happy Father Day to all the real ones. One more time. All right, we gotta show the pops love. All right, so check this out, y'all. Okay, so we'll go over the SPY first. Okay, now look at the SPY. We talked about this last Sunday. On a weekly, we got what seems to be a double top right here. Okay, we talked about this last week, right? A double top right here, okay? Boom, 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 right? And look what happened on last week. We got a reversal candle coming in after this up move. So we're going to see some downward pressure and some downward momentum, right? Now, futures just opened up and they're down, all right? We don't know how many points, but futures are down right now. So in about an hour, we're going to see where stocks are going to be at in the after hours, all right? So we're on a double top over here on a weekly time frame and also on the monthly time frame, right? So we most likely will be coming down based off this pattern right here. But this is the S&P 500, okay? Now, let's go look at the sectors that have been going crazy lately over the last week, all right? If we look over the last week, we got, look at FSLR. The last 2 weeks, FSLR been going crazy. And look, it's above the 50 EMA. It's above this EMA right here. Okay, FSLR could be going to touch $200. All right, it ain't got no resistance until 200. So if we break above 179 here, we could be going to $200. This on a weekly. If we go to the daily time frame, look at the daily. We above that 200 EMA right here, right? We could come up to 199. All right, like we don't have any resistance. This is FSLR. This is energy, right? This is solar. Okay, that's FSLR. Now let's go to, where's it at? Here we go, in phase. Let's go to in phase. Look at, number one, look at in phase, y'all. Look at in phase on a weekly time frame. Look where it came from. In phase was all the way at $340. All right, $340. Y'all see that right here? 340, all-time highs, right? And it dropped, all right? So from last year, this was this last like big level right here, okay? 192. Then it came down right here, and then it came back up, and then it was hovering around 139. So it would come down and it would come back up to about 130, 139. And look what happened. It came all the way down. So we are at almost like after it IPO'd, okay? So we're at levels that it was at in freaking $43. All right, so if we look at this, it came from here, all right? Came all the way down, all right? all the way down here. Okay. Now, if we look at this, now we look at the daily time. Well, let's look at the weekly real quick. On the weekly time frame, okay, it's trying to break out of this level right here, but it's been bouncing off this 9 EMA the whole time. But for the first time, it closed inside of that 9 EMA on a weekly time frame in a long time with a green candle. Now, if we go to the daily time frame, all right, it almost rejected off that 50 EMA and it just filled a gap. So we had a gap right here and it came up and filled this gap. All right, so we could see in phase come up. All right, in phase could try to come touch like $54 and then potentially like 63. All right, I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but I'm trying to give you guys, you know, a indication of where these things are gonna be going. All right, so energy. All right, so we got in phase, we got First Solar, FSLR. Okay, so those are two stocks right there. Now, what's going on, Journey to Better? What's up, Trees? Oh yeah, Oracle. Yeah, Oracle could keep going crazy. Now, I've been looking at Oracle, right? Oracle is at, its RSI is at like 92. This is the highest that its RSI has been in the past 37 years. Okay, we'll look at Oracle too. I'm waiting on Oracle to come down so I can make some money to the downside, right? But they're going crazy right now. All right. So yeah, shares in phase, you can't really like be mad at it because they're so cheap right now, and we see where they came from. So, you know, it is what it is. But okay, so that's energy. All right, that's energy. Now, another sector is going to be oil. All right. I made this video yesterday. I just got into a swing on Friday about this, right? But let's look at the oil sector. Okay, the oil sector. Now let's look at a stock that I'm very familiar with. I've traded quite a bit. All right, let's look at ExxonMobil. All right, ExxonMobil. It's above all these EMAs right here. It's in an uptrend right here, okay? On a daily, if you look at the weekly, look at last week. This was just last week alone, all right? Now, we got a big gap to fill up here. So we got a gap from 114 all the way up to 116.59, all right? Its previous highs is at here, 118.82, right? So it was at 118 back in March, came down, right? Came down here, bounced off, hit 108, came back down, bounced off, right? Came up here, 109, bounced down again, right? Finally broke through this level right here, right? Finally broke through this level right here. Now that it broke through this level right here, look what happened. Now we gapped up, and we gapped up. This was Friday, okay? The stock, oil prices, crude oil prices went up by 7% on Friday. This stock gapped up from 109 to 112. All right, it opened at 112. Came down, buyers pushed it back up. All right, so this is all buyers right here. Buying pressure pushed them back up. All right, and as you can see on Friday, look at it on the 5-minute. On Friday, look what it created. Right? It created a double bottom right here. Okay? Double bottom. Boom, boom, right? And then it came up. It didn't just go boom, boom, and go straight up, but it boom, boom, and then it came up real gradually. Right? And it held that support level right there. So that lets me know that we really are going to be trying to come up to the upside. Okay? Because buyers stepped in and pushed that thing up. All right, buyers stepped in and pushed that thing up, right? So this is ExxonMobil, okay? This is ExxonMobil. Another one, where is that? OXY. Another one, where we at? I had it on here, OXY, all right? Oxy. All right, Oxy. Look at this, another dragonfly. Right, this is a dragonfly as well. Now, if we zoom out, Let's go to the monthly real quick. Okay. This is the monthly time frame, and it just got above the 200 EMA right here, right? But if you look at the monthly, its all-time highs are $74, right? $74. Okay. Now for a while in 2020, it was all the way down at $9, and then it blasted off, came down to right here, it came down to 34. Okay. Then look, it bounced off. Past 2 months, it's had some green months. Now, if we go to the daily time frame, and we're at $46 right now, this thing could be trying to come up to, let's see, Oxy. I mean, it broke above here, right? It broke above 44, and look, it's coming back up to 48 for sure, because it has to fill this gap right here, and it has this upward momentum, right? So it's going to be coming back up to $48 right here. But if all this stuff in the Middle East keeps going up, Oxy could be coming up as well. All right, and so we got some room to go to the upside with Oxy. All right. Now let's look at another one. Now this is defense. Okay, we're talking about defense companies now, right? Because of everything that's going on, tensions in the Middle East. Now let's look at Lockheed Martin. Okay, all-time highs are $600, 605, right? Pay attention to that. All right, hit there, came down. We had a change of character. All right, so we've been on a downtrend from October 24 to April. All right, and then look, it created a dragonfly right here, low key, and then we had a crazy month right here in March, and then boom, it came up, right? It came up. Now, look at this. Now it's starting to come up, right? On the monthly. So if you got into like a swing like for 3 to 5 months, 3 to 6 months out, we might come and recapture 520 to 565, right? It just depends on what's going to go on with that stuff, right? But this is stuff to pay attention to. Okay? Now let's go to the daily time frame. Right? So look, we gapped down, and then 2 days later we gapped up, right? So we gapped down on Tuesday to Wednesday, we gapped down, right? And then on Thursday, this is Wednesday. No, this is Wednesday right here, okay? This is Thursday. The next day, we opened up right here at 457, and we came up to 468. So a $10 day. Close right here. The stuff happened in the Middle East, and we gapped up. So we went from 468, and we gapped up to 478, gap up, and then we closed the day at 486. So we surpassed that gap right here, and now we're on an upward trajectory. Okay, above the 200 EMA, all of that stuff. Okay, so Lockheed could be coming up to the next level would be like 500, like 501. All right, all we gotta do is get above right here, 490, a couple dollars away. We close above that, and we go into 500. All right, so Lockheed could be a nice swing as well. If we get a pullback, that's even better. But we want to see what's going on with this news in the Middle East. You see what I'm saying? So Lockheed, another company that's a defense company, is NOC. Look what happened with them. All right. Look what happened with them. They gapped down. They came from 423. They gapped all the way down to 491, right? Came up a little bit, filled it slightly, right? Couple bucks, came back down, and then boom, look what happened. Friday, they had a crazy day at 488 to 496, gapped up, 404, 504, all the way to 516. All right, blasted off. All right, this is another defense company. So this company and also LMT, these companies are similar. All right, so these are defense companies, And these companies are going to do well if we have a lot of unrest going on in the Middle East. All right. So I want you guys to be informed on what's really going on in the world and how that correlates in the stock market. I'm trying to make this stuff as simple as possible for you guys. All right. Like real talk. Okay. So let me know if that makes sense. All right. Let me know if that makes sense. If you're just tuning in, man, say what's up in the comments. All right. Say what's up. We don't bite. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. And also be sure to like this video. All right. Be sure to like this live. Let's get them likes up in this live. Literally giving y'all like hundreds of thousands of dollars of information that so many people, they ain't going to just give it to you. All right. On this live for the free. So be sure to like this video for me. All right. And let me know where you guys are tuning in from. All right. So those are some sectors. Those are some sectors to look into, some sectors that you want to be paying attention to. All right. But also, if you see tech companies dropping, right, you could ride puts on the way down. That's a beautiful part of it. The biggest thing is, what direction is the stock going to be going into? That's the key. What direction is the stock going into? That's the most important thing. Once you understand the direction, you could ride puts down or you could ride calls up. All right? So keep those things in mind. Now let's talk about some setups. Okay? I see a lot of setups this week. I see a lot of setups. Every week there's a lot of setups because every single week there's an abundance of opportunities in the market. All right? There's a lot of opportunities in the market. You just got to understand where the money is flowing into. Okay? You looking at any other drones? Archer, Red Cat, Joby? Nah, I have not been looking into drones. Reason being is because when I'm looking at oil, energy, and defense companies, that's already like a lot, right? In addition to like my go-tos that I'm already always looking at as well. So I don't want to try to like overwhelm myself, which is why I'm not looking at like drone companies. But yeah. So now let's look into some setups. Okay, some setups for the week. I got two bangers. All right. I got two bangers for you guys. Like solid setups. Okay. Now, the first setup I'm looking at, I'm pulling it up right now. Where we at? Okay. So the first setup is going to be a bull flag. This is simple, and this is like textbook right here, okay? So this is like what they call it in school, self-exclamatory. This right here is self-exclamatory. You should be able to see this even if you can't see. All right? So this setup right here is going to be DoorDash. All right? So let's look at DoorDash. Right? Ticker symbol is dash. Let's look at them. All right? So they look like it was on the inverted head and shoulders a little bit. But so let's look at them. Let's look at the monthly real quick. If you look at the monthly, they were on a cup and handle on the monthly. Look, boom, cup, handle, blast off. All right, so they're actually, oh wow, yeah, they should be coming up to about 250. All right, 257 is their all-time high, 257.12. Okay, so you can look at it as this is a cup and handle, right? Cup, handle right there and blast off. Or you can look at it as this is the cup and then this is the handle and then it blasts off. Right? But nonetheless, cup and handle on a monthly. All-time highs, 257. Right? Now, let's look at this on the weekly. Drop down a little bit. Okay? We in an upward trend right here. And look at this. Last week we ended on a dragonfly. Okay, this is a dragonfly right here, which means that this is a bullish candle right here. Okay, now we go to the daily time frame. Look at this. All right, let's look at this right here. We got a move to the upside, so we came from 200, right? 202. We blasted off, all right, all the way to 220. So it made a $20 move, and then it consolidated. It did not sell off. We also have a bullish engulfing right here on Friday. We got a bullish engulfing right here. All right, so what does this mean right here? Bullish engulfing means that the next day or 2 days, we should see some bullish momentum in action, right? Now, so we got a bull flag, we got a pole, and we got the flag right here. So if you see DoorDash break above like 20, 220, 13, or you could be super safe and say 220.87, then you can get in a call, and then the next level would be the target would be 235. All right, it would be 235. This is a bull flag right here. Pole, consolidation, breakout is on the way. We came up, we consolidated, we didn't sell off. We just touched the 200 EMA right here, bounced off of it. Now it's time for us to blast off and go to the upside. All right. So that's the first setup I have right there. All right. That's the first setup I have right there. That's a beautiful setup right there, y'all. All right. That's a beautiful, beautiful setup right there. Okay. That's DoorDash, right? The ticker symbol is DASH. All right. Now, the next stock I'm gonna give you. Now this setup right here, this setup don't make sense. This setup feels like a layup right here. All right. I ain't even gonna lie to you. When I found this setup, it just felt like a layup. It felt like perfect timing. Okay. Now, if you want to get in on these plays and know when exactly that we're gonna be getting into them, be sure to join the Discord. All right. I'm gonna signal when I'm entering in and getting out of these trades. Right. But these are gonna be swing trades. So, with that being said, we got I'm gonna go to the next stock for this week. All right, banger right here. Chevron, okay, oil stock. Look at this. This has nothing but room to go to the upside. All right, nothing but room. We gapped down twice, okay? So back in April, we gapped down, had a red day, we gapped down again, had another red day, right? And then we came up, we came down, right? And then boom, right? It started to come up. It just closed above the 200 EMA on a daily time frame. We have two gaps to the upside right here, okay? We got two gaps to the upside right there. Y'all see what I'm saying? So check this out. Check this out. We above the 200 EMA. We got two gaps. The last gap is 163, and this is an oil company. With everything going on in the Middle East right now, this thing could do some serious damage. All right? So as long as it stays above 145.61, I like this to the upside. I love this to the upside right here. This could be this play right here, this trade right here could change your life if you play it right. All right, this one right here could change your life if you play it right. We got two gaps. First one starting at 150, so in $5, $4, it starts. It's gonna go up to 153, and then we got this right here, and then we got another gap starting at 159. And it's going to go up to 164. All right? That's two gaps all the way up there. Okay, and that is not even all-time highs. All-time highs is like 169. All right, 169. But we are above. We are above all the levels right here. And if you look at the weekly, right, in 1 week, Chevron went from 163.97 to 141.81. You see what I'm saying? So Chevron, realistically, they could get to 165 this week because they just proved that they can move $20 in a week, right? This took 3 weeks, right? From 158 to 139. That took 3 weeks, okay, to move $20. So from right here, 140 to 164, that is $24. So this could take about 2 to 3 weeks to get up here right here. All right. So I'm looking to enter into a swing on them. I like to see how they open tomorrow, and then I'm gonna enter into a swing with them. Okay. Yeah, it reminded me of Starbucks for sure because it was above all the levels and it was 2 gaps. So not absolutely. So this thing could run. Chevron could run real nice. All right, real nice. All right. So you look at this on a daily and a weekly time frame. This thing right here is poised and ready to go crazy. All right, it's ready to go crazy. All right, what's up, Gerald? How you feeling? So that's Chevron. So let me know this. What setup y'all like better? DoorDash or Chevron? DoorDash or Chevron? Which setup out of those two that I just showed you, which one do you like better? I'll give it a second because I know it's a delay, but let me know which setup you like better, DoorDash or Chevron. They both look like straight bangers to me. Not even gonna lie to you, they look like straight bangers to me, okay? But I want to know which one y'all like better. Which one looks better to you? Which one looks more of a layup? Chevron. Yeah. It just matches. It matches up. I like both of them. I ain't gonna lie. Now let me go look at the spreads. Let me go look at the spreads with both of these. The DoorDash might be a day trade. They may make that move in a day, and then they may reject and then come back down, right? But let's look at Dash and their spreads real quick. All right. So, all right. So look, let's see. So Dash's spreads are not bad. Like 50 cent right here, 50 cent, 40 cent, 70 cent right here. So if we were to swing Dash, maybe like the next week's expiration, about 40 cents. About 60 cents right here. No, about 40 cents. So between 40 and 60 cents is DoorDash's spreads, which aren't bad. We go to Chevron. Let's see, about 5 cents right here. 13 cents right here. So I may say like a July 3rd expiration date. Very cheap contracts right here. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I definitely like both of those setups. But the thing about it is, if we're going with the trends and like what's going on in a global scale, I like Chevron better because it aligns with the setup and what's going on in the world right now. Okay, so yeah, everybody's saying Chevron. Q-Tisha said I like both of them. Right? Q-Tisha said I like both of them. You know what I'm saying? Q-Tisha gonna get the money. That's the thing about Q-Tisha. All right, DoorDash, the setup is nice, but considering oil is going crazy, that's a nice confluence. Exactly. But like I say, DoorDash, it could break above that level, and then it could go crazy for a day, and then we could see a crazy sell-off. So we could be able to make it money to the upside and the downside. We just got to see. Right? But yeah, I like both of those setups, honestly. I love both of those setups. And we gonna do what it do on both of those setups for sure, right? And what they might do is, excuse me, what they might do is depending on how, like, we gonna see what stocks is looking like in the next 30 minutes, because at 8 p.m. Eastern, the after hours they start trading and everything opens up. We gonna see what the stock market is looking like right now. We know futures dropped, right? My CNBC told me that futures dropped. Okay, so it said stock futures dropped on rising geopolitical risk as Israel-Iran attacks continue. Okay, so that's what it says on my phone right there. So with that being said, XOM might gap up. Energy stocks might gap up. Chevron might gap up, and then it could come down to fill the gap or halfway, and then it could go up, right? Either or. Now I'm gonna point out one thing real quick with Chevron, okay? If y'all just tuning in, man, say what's up. Let me know where y'all tuning in from. All right, say what's up. Now let me show y'all something. All right, and this is just stuff I've researched over the years. Okay. Now look. Go right here real quick. Now let's go back to Zani. All right, we're gonna go to Zani. Where's it at? All right, if you look at the daily time frame, right? Just pay attention. Right? Look at what Exxon has done. It's been up here at 116 and it's came down to 104. Then it came up 112, came right here to 107. Then it came up here, right? 116, 117, and it came down to 111. Then it came down here to 105. And then what it do? Came back up, 114, boom, right? Came right here, 108, and then boom, okay? 122, right? So it's always going between like 120 and about 104, 105. So it came down here to that 103, boom, came right back down, boom, chopped around here, came back down right here, same level, boom, popped up, right? Boom, 118, came down, chopped around, popped up, came down, right? Popped up again, came down, consolidated, popped up, right? So when you start to understand what's going on, you see these trends and look what's happening, right? Look what's happening. What's up, D? New York, what up? So you got into it, Mason? Yeah, we called this, I called this swing on Friday. We got into it. I know I got into it. I don't know who else got into it in the Discord. If you're in the Discord and you got into this this trade, this swing trade, let me know. All right. Now, I'm going to show y'all something as well. Check this out. And this is what I'm talking about. So look at this. Let me pull this up real quick. Okay. Now, peep game, y'all. All right. This is the power. This is the power of this stuff. Look at this. So what's up, Plan BT? All right, so check it out. On May 29th, okay, which was 2 weeks ago, I told everybody, I said a stock to pay attention to for some upside action is what? ExxonMobil. Okay, this was on 5/29. This was on May 29th right here. Okay. So pay attention to Exxon. I said this stock usually goes between 100 and 120. It came down to this zone right here. And look, I dropped the chart. Before the chart looked like this, I dropped this chart, right? And look where it was at, right here, right? Just pay attention. I said this stock usually goes between 100 and 120. It came down to this zone and it held. So we can see, if we can see Exxon come back up to 108 to 109, and if we break above there, we could see it make some parabolic moves to fill some upside gaps to 116, okay? To 116. So what did I say? If we can see it come back up to 108, 109, which is right here, okay? 108, 109 right there. We can see it make some parabolic moves, right? And then boom, It's doing it right now. And the oil situation and the war situation is helping it go to the upside. So we got this right here, this gap right here. It come up here, boom, we could take profits, and that's like a $5 move right there, and that'll be a very nice profit. Okay, so I called this and I put this on everybody's radar on May 29th. Okay, on May 29th. I put this on everybody's radar. So if you was paying attention to this and you got in, you already ahead of the curve and you already eating. All right. I got in the Exxon play. Okay. Yeah, plan. Hey, yo, absolutely. Me and Shali was looking at it. NOC went crazy. Northrop went crazy. We did not get a chance to enter. I didn't know Northrop was gonna go that crazy so fast, right? Because it came in a gap. I wanted to see if it was gonna come down a little bit first before I entered in. That joint went crazy. So yeah, but yeah, Northrop went crazy. Lockheed went crazy. Right? A lot of stocks went crazy. But that's the power of this stuff. That's why I want y'all to get in Discord, because all of these things, we put these things on your radars before they happen. Right? We put these things on your radar before they happen. Straight up. So if you would have saw that right there and been paying attention to XOM, you could have been at XOM at $105, right? You get an XOM at $105 and it goes up to $112. You done made 100% return on your money in stock options, right? Just in stock options. You see what I'm saying? If you buy shares, if the stock go up $5 and you got one share, you made $5. That's a little less than 5%, right? But if you got options, a $5 move could change your life. A $5 move could change your life. I want you to understand this stuff, right? So understand what's going on. Understand what's going on in the world, and understand how the global stuff could impact certain sectors in the market and how you could be a beneficiary of that. Y'all see what I'm saying? If you picking up what I'm putting down, let me know in the comments. All right? If you picking up what I'm putting down, let me know in the comments. Like, seriously. Because we got some big opportunities. We got some big opportunities that's right in front of our faces. Every single day, y'all. Every single day we have massive opportunities that's right in front of our faces. Our job, right? Our job is to figure out how do we execute on those opportunities and how do we take advantage of those opportunities. Right? So, Unknown Kello said facts. Best be up. Plan B said, yeah, I be trying to explain options to people at my job. They just don't get it. Yo, a lot of people not going to get it. Right? A lot of people not going to get it. And that's okay. That's okay. Because as what's going to happen is they're going to see you leave. They're going to see you quit. They're going to see you, they're going to see your life change. They're going to be like, yo, how you do it? They may have some pride, right? But they're going to be like, how you do it? And then you're going to be like, you remember that options thing I was telling you about? Well, that's what it was, right? And then, because here's what I learned about people. People are never interested until they could see themselves benefiting off of the thing, right? Think about all of y'all who was interested in options, right? Before you got into options. Some of y'all, it may have took you a year to really get into it. And you've heard of it before. Some of y'all got into it immediately. Some of y'all, it took 3 years, right? What made you really get interested in it? You started to realize how it could benefit you. That's human nature. So these people gonna get into it when they start to see how it could really benefit them in their personal life. You know what I'm saying? Gerald said, I've been trying to gain confidence on swings and rolling with y'all. Haven't entered yet. Okay. I definitely understand that. Swings and confidence is definitely a thing, but here's what I learned about it, right? Maybe you start with a stock that, because you can swing different ways. You can swing overnight, you can swing within the week, or you can swing 2 3 weeks, a month out, 2 months out, right? So I want you to think about this, y'all. You never gonna get your confidence up if you don't face the thing, right? If you don't face the thing, how you gonna get your confidence up? So at some point, Gerald, you gotta find a stock that has cheap contracts, and you gotta see a solid setup, and you gotta get that contract, and find a contract that's less than $100 that you can swing, right? Maybe it's Mara, right? Maybe it's IBIT, like a cheap contract that's less than $100, so the risk is minimal. So that way you could work your confidence up and work your confidence up. Because I feel you about the confidence. Holding overnight sometimes it do be kind of like, you could get a little nervous and stuff, but it's like you ain't gonna make the big money if you don't never get there, right? So in order to work through that, I would say find a stock with cheap contracts and find a setup, and then take that swing trade so that you could build up your own personal confidence and you can gain confidence in the market. Because something that I learned is you never gonna increase your confidence within the stock market. It's not about, sometimes not about you. It's about trusting the stock market, right? And the charts. And you never gonna get there until you actually gotta feel it, right? So make sure you do something even with small contracts, cheap contracts, just so that you can start working on that. All right. So I know Kello said trading not for everybody. That's funny because I used to say that, but it's like, man, trading is not for everybody's pride and ego, right? If we strip away the pride and ego, it is for everybody. But it's their pride, ego, and fear that makes it not for everybody. If people could overcome their pride, their ego, and their fear, it would be for everybody. You feel what I'm saying? So I feel that, but trading, it makes you really see yourself from a different angle, and you gotta just face it. And a lot of people don't want to. So that's why it's not for everybody, because people don't want to be that accountable to themselves. You know what I'm saying? Joe said, I don't want to feel like I'm chasing. I feel that. At my first job, I didn't understand. They tried to compare it to gambling. But now they know something big is changing in my life because I don't talk about it no more. Yeah. That's how it is, Best Beezy. That's how it is. Because when you start really getting into it, you don't even be trying to tell people. I remember when I first started, I would try to tell people, but now I don't even care, right? Because I'm so in it. I'm just locked in on the thing. I'm not even worried about trying to tell people and trying to get them to get into it, right? That's what YouTube is for. And on YouTube, I don't even beg people to get into it, because you either gonna get it or you not. And I'm not, my channel is not here to beg people. I'm here to present the information that could change your life, because it changed my life, right? And then from there, you take that information, and whoever wants to take it, it's free information for it, whoever, right? So that's what it's about. Yeah, swings are definitely less stressful. I will say that. Swings and day trades, honestly, way less stressful. Plan B, all I needed here was 100 shares. Nah, for real, yo. For real. That's what I've been trying to find. I'm with y'all, Mason. Been helping me a lot with that. Yeah. King Corey said, I've been making money from options for about 2 years. Now my family still don't know. They think I sold. I still work at my old job. Hey, that's funny. They still think you work at your old job. That is funny. Hey, that's private right there. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Start with SoFi or Lucid for start. Yeah. Start with something small, Gerald, right? Mara, SoFi. You could swing it. You could swing it for 2 weeks for less than $100, and then you could take $300 and you could be like, this is gonna be my swing trade money for small stocks, so I could build my confidence up with these setups, and then as it grows, I'll grow my confidence. So I could go from there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. You right about starting small. Yeah, starting small is one of the biggest hacks, right? Nobody wants to start small because they want to make all this big money fast and early. But I'm telling you, if you make big money fast and early, you're going to lose it fast, because you're not going to have the the lessons ingrained in your brain yet to be able to play on a big level. All right, real talk. Um, Throw that lucid in the chat. Rivian, not Robin. Oh yeah, I don't mess with Rivian. I used to, but I don't really mess with Rivian no more. Um, all they see me talk is taking PTO days away, going on fishing trips, shit. Which I'm going away to. There we go. That's what's up. That's what's up, Besby. That's what's up, Besby. Hey, listen, I love fishing too. Like I'm honestly, I love nature. Like I haven't been getting into nature as much lately, but like camping, fishing. When I was a kid, we used to do that stuff, and that stuff is beautiful. It's amazing. It's fun. You know what I'm saying? But it's like being being connected to the technology. It really takes you away from like the beauties of life. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing too, y'all. Always remember, right? Always remember the point of learning how to trade is so that you could buy back your time and go do the things that you want to do. Like, please, please, please understand and remember that. Please understand and remember that. The whole point of trading is to buy your time so that you could go do the things that you want to do. And it is going to be a challenge sometimes. You're going to have to fight sometimes and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if you learn how to do this, then you could do this. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I would say to that, right? That's what I would say to that. So, man, go on that fishing trip, bro. Enjoy that fishing trip. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to trade, build up that bread, and that way you could just trade, have your money coming in, be invested into the stock market and your shares, and then you could just go live your life. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. I can't wait to be trading this week in the tent. Yeah, that's gonna be lit. That's gonna be lit. What do I think about Applied? I took a trade on them on Friday. They remind me of SoFi. Honestly, they remind me of SoFi because they'll have these big moves, right? They'll have these big moves out of nowhere, and you just got to be in front of them. But Applied is good because Nvidia is buying a lot of shares of Applied. Okay, APLD. Nvidia is buying a lot of shares of Applied, so they're going to be a player. But their Applied is going to be coming down. Most likely, they're going to come back down to like $7 because they got a gap to fill to the downside. They made a crazy explosive move to the upside over a 3-day period. So I think that Applied is coming back down, but and then it'll probably bounce, but it has to balance out first. So, but yeah, Applied is smooth. All right. Lucid is a golden nugget. It's a whole EV car company. It won't be at $2 forever. Cars look better than any Tesla. Yeah. Yeah, I'm familiar with. I got in an Uber. I rode in a couple Ubers, and Lucid was the car. So yeah, I'm going long on Applied around 950 if it holds. There you go. Hey Mason, you sounding like a pro now, bro. I gotta give it to. Hey, shout out to Mason. Right, we didn't watch Mason take big L's, but he's sounding like a pro now. You know what I mean? So shout out to Mason for real. And shout out to Best Beezy, right? Y'all sounding like some pros. You guys have gotten so much more refined, right? Y'all have gotten so much more refined. Like in the beginning, I could just see the difference, you know? So shout out to y'all, man, for real. All right. Best Beezy said we're going out to fish Walleye, Mountain Lake Erie in Canada. We're going to stay in the condo. Hell yeah, bro. Do that shit. That's what's up, man. That's what it's about. That's what life is about. You know what I mean? Real talk. Mason, a thing with CoreWeave. Yeah, CoreWeave. So NVIDIA is buying a lot of Applied and CoreWeave, right? So a lot of these stocks, these big companies, they buy shares of a lot of other companies as well. And that's why some stocks be like going crazy and then they be dropping too. Yeah. I heard NVIDIA already sold the shares they bought, and that's why Applied is down. Could be. I have to look into it. But if that's what happened, then that's what happened. And Cozy said trade TSLL, GGLI, FBL instead of Tesla, Google, or Meta for smaller accounts. There you go. Yeah, a lot of people in the Discord are trading TSLL for sure. So that's what's up. Absolutely, Mason. Like you've been doing your thing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Seriously. So, like I'll be seeing what's going on. Mike said I got in applied at $5 and wrote it up to 15. I made 2K waiting for a gap fill on the downside, then riding it back up. Hey, that's beautiful right there. That's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? That's literally what it's about right there. Like you got the sauce. You know what I'm saying? All you gotta do is keep going back and forth. Know when it's going down, know the direction. Know when it's going up, know the direction. All right. So look, stocks just opened up, right? I'm on Robinhood right now. Let me show y'all. So let's see where we at. All right, let's see where we at. So we got where we at? So ExxonMobil right now. So we got in on ExxonMobil at 112, right? Right now, what's that say? What's that say, y'all? 114. 114. All right. So we don't know where it's gonna gap up at, but ExxonMobil is up right now in the pre-market or in the aftermarket right here. All right. Let's see where Chevron is at. Chevron, right? Chevron is up $2 as well. So it's up 148. All right. So I'm most likely gonna be getting in Chevron tomorrow as well. We about to make oil money this week, y'all. All right. We about to make oil money. All right. We about to get that oil money. Okay. So I put everybody on the XOM play. Right now it's up. It's up. GMC said, get out of your head, get in this world. Love it. Keep it up, Young King. Hit Oclo for 98%. Hey, shout out to you, GMC. OG, triple OG. That's what's up. I love to hear it, man. I love to hear it. Seriously. Mason got an 1175. Yep. Yep. Yeah, so we should be up. We should be up nice tomorrow. Mason, you made 1,000 on Sunrun. There you go. You made like 200%. That's beautiful. Just keep doing it. Keep doing it. How much you make on Starbucks? What you make on Starbucks? That's beautiful right there. That is beautiful right there. So we got that. Who else we got? Look, another oil company, right? I called it out. Oxy. Oxy is up $1.20 in pre-market, right? That's almost 3% for them. Okay. So these, I made a video yesterday and I talked about them today, and they're up right now. So they should be doing some solid numbers going into the week. All right. So if Exxon is at, let's see the chart real quick, right? Let's look at the chart one more time. So if Exxon is at, so they have that gap to fill, it starts at 114.50, right? If the gap starts at 114.50 or 114.36, and right now XOM is at 114.50, tomorrow it potentially could gap up. It could be at 116, 117 tomorrow, right? Potentially, it could be up. It could gap up into this gap right here, okay? So if it gaps up and it opens up at 116, I'll take profits right there. All right? I'll take profits right there. All right? So that's how we get it. That's how we get it. That's how we do it. I was up 800, up 600 currently, was letting it run a bit more, but we'll see. Okay. I hit PayPal right before it went to 75. Only 25% on that. All good though. Okay. Hey, look though, your swings are positive percentages. You get what I'm saying? So you only gonna be building upon those. So don't even trip on that. All right. Don't even trip on it. You gonna be good, bro. I'm telling you, I can see it. I can see it. I can see what's happening. All right. So yeah, y'all. So yeah. So yeah, I think that was a good talk right there, and that was also a good live, man. I really hope that you guys got that value out of it. Okay, I hope that y'all got that value out of it, and I hope that you guys continue to just sharpen y'all swords and keep doing what y'all doing, right? Keep getting better, keep getting better, and keep getting better, because it's a lot of money to be made in the stock market. It's life changing money to be made in the stock market, y'all. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. All right. So, if y'all got into XOM, then if y'all take profits tomorrow, make sure you screenshot that. Don't be stingy, and let me know how much y'all hit them for. And I'm probably gonna be entering into that Chevron swing as well. Seriously. So yeah, y'all. Like I always say, I'm gonna get up out of here. It's been what, 1 hour and 5 minutes. But like I always say, let's make sure you get up out your head and go get into this world, because your head is a dangerous place to live. All right? Like seriously, stop living inside of your head. All right? It's holding you back. It is holding you back. Get out of your head. Get around people that are doing the things that you want to do. Get around the energy that you want to be living in. You see what I'm saying? Get out of your head and get into this world, because your head is a dangerous place to live, all right? And also remember, the more you study, the less you worry, all right? I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all's time. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. I'm going to see everybody in the Discord in the morning. If you're not in the Discord, click the link in the description in this video and join the Discord. You get 7 days for free. You get a free trial. Come test us out. It's only $40 a month. Come trade with us. Come make some money with us. All right. Come swing trade with us. Come day trade with us. And we going to get this money. All right. I appreciate all y'all. I'm going to holler at everybody. See you in the Discord tomorrow. Peace.